And it is Nico Harris, y'all. Nico Harris was 100% right. You know, are we done trying to bad mouth and belittle this dude for his decision to trade Luka Vandross to the Lakers? And you know, we complaining about what package he returned back. When you really look at the situation, the package is continuous, because if they signed Luka Doncic to that supermax deal, they wouldn't have had any wiggle room to do much else. I don't even think they would have been able to re-sign Kyrie Irving, right? So imagine if, okay, we give Luka all this money, but now we have very little to give Kyrie. But if we do pay Kyrie and Luka, then we have no wiggle room for nothing else at all, right? So getting rid of Luka Doncic for AD did two things. They brought in a superstar that was going to be an all-time great defender for them at the rim, and also give you 25 to 30 points a game, right? So if we're losing 30 points from Luka and gaining 25 points from AD, but we're also losing a liability on defense from Luka and gaining an asset defensively at the rim and a deterrent in the paint, that's net positive, right? Everybody complained about, oh, you didn't get all these draft picks and all this. No, we want to win right now. The best thing that we got out of this situation was we didn't have to pay Luka what their agents was asking for or what he was owed, because we can't afford to pay him that and build a contender around him, not with that many liabilities on defense and then that many liabilities off the court as far as how he take care of himself, right? So that was good. You get AD back, you get another young player that defends and shoot the three in Christie, right? And then you still got your a number one option or number 1A, 1B with Kyrie. And then we ended up getting the number one pick, and we got Cooper Flagg, who's also good on both ends. Very young, but good on both ends. That you get to plug in there. And then you add D'Lo, and then we re-sign Gafford. Lively comes back healthy. We still got PJ Washington. Like, this is an insane lineup they're putting together, right? And everyone who badmouthed Nico, including Mark Cuban, can do nothing but sing his praises right now. We're going to listen to what Avery Johnson said when he was asked about whether he would rather have Luka right now. And Avery Johnson used to coach the Dallas Mavericks, took them to the finals. All right. We about to listen to what he said about Luka and your boy Cooper Flagg.
Avery, would you still rather have Luka over Cooper Flagg?
Man, give me Cooper Flagg.
Really?
Cooper Flagg and this team, yeah, give me Cooper Flagg, man. This team is going to be tremendous once Kyrie Irving gets healthy. You still have Anthony Davis. When he gets healthy, they're going to re-sign Daniel Gafford. Obviously, there's been talk about Kyrie Irving re-signing. This team is going to be built to be one of the best two-way teams in the league, and they didn't have to really sacrifice any of their depth. They have some quality young players coming off that bench. Klay Thompson is a champion. You're talking about a team, when they're healthy, got 3 future Hall of Famers with Kyrie, AD, and Klay Thompson. So this is really exciting. The Mavericks, their future is bright, but they have a window when they're healthy of the next 2 to 3 years with this roster as currently constructed.
So he's absolutely right. So they got Cooper. Listen, Kyrie Irving he's going to be out. He had an ACL injury late in the season, so he might be out all the way to All-Star break. Right. So what they really needed to do after they got that lottery pick, that number one pick, knowing they was going to get Cooper Flagg, they really had to figure out, okay, what free agent are we going to bring in to run point for us that is good enough to keep the ship afloat, but not so good that he can't accept a role going back to the bench once Kyrie come back. But also good enough and got decent size on him enough to where I can play him and Kyrie together. So it was a perfect pickup for D'Angelo Russell for both of them. It works out for D'Lo. He's going to get half the season to be a starter. He's going to be playing with Anthony Davis, who he had very good chemistry with when they played with the Lakers together. I'm pretty sure Anthony Davis probably gave Nico Harrison an idea that, and I got his name, Nico Harris, on here. I apologize for that, but give Nico Harrison the idea of what D'Lo was like as a locker room guy, as a practice player, and what chemistry they had. So I'm pretty sure they looked at that. There's a lot of relationships going on in Dallas. Nico got a relationship and with ties to Nike with Kyrie. That helped them out for Kyrie to take a pay cut. Not even a pay cut, but he took a hometown discount so they can have a little bit more wiggle room as far as salary cap and money to go get some free agents, which they did. They got D'Lo, right? So that relationship worked out good for them. Anthony Davis was coached by J. Kidd in the bubble when they won the championship ring. So J. Kidd had a relationship to be able to sign off on the Anthony Davis signing. And then you got D'Lo had a relationship with Anthony Davis. That it's connections all over the place, right? Cooper Flagg with the Duke ties to Kyrie. I mean, it's a wonderful thing that's going on over there. I forgot Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is still gonna be there. They got something going, and it wouldn't be possible if they didn't pull the trigger on that Luka Doncic trade, right? What did J. Kidd say about Cooper Flagg?
But just sitting here listening to him, is it incredible? I mean, we're talking about an 18-year-old who has all the right answers, and is talking about working out after this. But
I want to stop it there. He said, "Isn't it incredible how he talks?" And I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to throw no shade at Luka, but he said, "We just drafted him. We're doing a press conference, and we've already had conversations behind the scene, and he told me he was going to go work out after this press conference. You ain't got to worry about him getting fat and out of shape and coming back to training camp where you better see his belly button through his jersey. You ain't got to worry about that. He's going to be in shape. He's going to play defense. He's not going to hog the ball. He's coached by freaking Duke. They don't do ball hogs at Duke. They drafted a good kid, a good athlete, a good prospect. I don't care if he turns out to be a number one or not. He's going to fit Dallas very well. The kid can ball. He don't need him to be a number one. They got 2 number ones there. He don't have to be a number one. He's in a great situation. But can he grow into number one? Absolutely. And the way they're talking about he's working, he said, I'm going to go work out of it. Who does that sound like? I'm not comparing the two, but these are the stories that we hear about Kobe. Like, oh, what y'all about to do after this? Oh, I'm going to the gym. You can't ask for a better player.
When you talk about his gift, he's a basketball player, and he's a winner. And I thought he answered the question about position perfectly, because I don't look at the position. I want to put him at the point guard. I want to make him uncomfortable and see how he reacts, being able to run the show, being able to play the 2, play the 3. He's comfortable playing that, but we want to push. And I think he's going to respond in a positive way. It's all right to fail. It's all right to turn the ball over. We've talked about that. Just understanding the guys that I've been around that have been young, from Giannis, giving him the ball and he failed. But he wanted to come back and have the ball. So I'm excited about giving him the ball against the Lakers and see what happens. Let's get it started right off the bat. But I think just his poise, he's going to be successful for a long time. He likes to work. He's not afraid to work, and he comes from a great family. So I'm very blessed, and the Mavs are very blessed to have him a part of the family.
And people really thought that there was a chance that Kidd was going to leave this situation to go to New York to take that job. Come on, dog. Y'all just fired a dude that got y'all to the conference finals, man. Like whatever he was doing that y'all didn't like, leadership in the front office should have been able to tweak and peak that. Look, man, you running our guys into the ground, man. You got to play more of your bench. Okay. All right. Got it. That's but letting him go and you ain't got no plan, and you interview 5 coaches that already got jobs, that was insane. I hope Mike Brown gets that job, but yeah, they're very satisfied and happy to get the season started in Dallas. They're very happy with their pick. They're very happy with Cooper Flagg. And if you would have told them last year, hey, if you trade Luka, you're going to end up with Cooper Flagg, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Davis, do you want to do it? Oh, and a draft pick in 2029, the first round in 2029. Do you want to do it? I think they would have said, yeah, that's better than paying this dude $400 million to come back to camp out of shape and not playing defense and forcing us to play an offense that don't get other people involved. They just stand around and wait for his pass. And then we got to pre-rotate. Y'all understand how disgusting it is for a team to have to pre-rotate to protect their best player. Like, your best player needs protection. That is insane. That's your best player. Your best player needs protect. You got to pre-rotate. That means everybody has to halfway rotate off their man. You can't be attached to no one you're guarding. Imagine having a guard Steph, and you know he's running off screens, and you got to stay attached to his body at all times. But guess what? I really can't, because whoever got the ball that Luka's guarding is always a threat to get a layup. Like, we got to pre-rotate off our man to make sure he don't get blown by and beat on every dribble penetration, and we give up layups. Like, that's a tough game plan, dog. That's tough. Who else talked about him? Nico. What do you think, Nico?
Your relationship with the fans after everything this past season?
Yeah, I think so. I think it will help. Most importantly, I think it just, we're in win now mode, and we have a really good team, and Cooper adds to that. So I think the fans finally start to see the vision.
Remember the Dwight Powell.
So, Nico, the fans are finally starting to see the vision. I told y'all, just wait. Nico was looking at the situation with the ownership, man. Look, we can't pay this dude this and contend. Like, we just can't. Like, it's too much stuff we have to do to help him on defense, and we get locked into a certain style of offense that's really not conducive. It's already hard to win that way. Then he's showing up out of shape all the time, and the longer he comes and plays out of shape at that weight, the more injury he's going to have. Like, this is not sustainable. We just can't give him all that money. We got a better option. Let's do it a different way. And I hope the fans are seeing the vision. They don't want to peel back and walk back and be like, all right, we're Mavs fans again. They don't want to do that yet because they still hurt about losing Luka. But I like what they got moving forward. Here's the big one, because Mark Cuban said, I don't know what's going on, right? I never would have traded Luka. He didn't have a lot of good things to say about the Mavs front office and Nico after it was done. But now he's even changed his tune. I guess this show is just based on people that want to be Deion Primetime Sanders, man, because everybody's backpedaling. What did Mark Cuban say?
Trade, right? Those things happen, but that was then. This is now. And the good news is when you can put together a team that, and the front office has done a great job of putting together a team where we can compete, right? And a couple breaks here and there. Kyrie comes back. Cooper is who we expect him to be. And we can have a really, really good team. And where I'll really give Nico and the front office credit is you look at a lot of teams right now, and they're blowing up their teams. They're dropping bombs on their team because of the second apron. I mean, we've got our guys locked up, and with the way the cap's going to move, we should be in really good shape. And, Nico and Kyrie have had a strong enough relationship that, they were able to work together to give us a little wiggle room to have somebody to fit in when Kyrie is out. And so, for all the hell that Nico's gotten, he's done a great job putting us in a really good position.
Nico has, for all the hell he's gotten, he's done a great job of putting us in a great position. So on one hand, you got Luka, you got this supermax contract that he was eligible for, with all the liabilities that come with him on and off the court. And you may or may not be a contender with him getting super max, but definitely you're gonna reach that second apron and be playing crazy luxury tax money. Like that second apron was gonna destroy this organization just because they wanted to pay him that money and keep him. Right? You see all these other teams running from the second apron. Boston, oh man, if you're gonna overpay and you don't win, it's almost like you gotta sell everything, which is what Boston is doing. All right, we was over, we didn't win, everything must go. Porzingis, Drew Holiday, now they're looking at maybe Brown. They didn't re-sign Horford. Like everything is boom, sell everything. Get low. Get under that second apron, right? Right. Everybody's doing it. The owners are selling their teams. Man, it look like we about to reach that second apron. I ain't about to pay that extra tax money. I'm out. I'm selling. You can have my majority share, right? People get it. Lakers just sold, right? Hitting that second apron. If you're not going to win, there's no point in hitting that second apron. Like with baseball, when the Yankees used to pay and get all these players, and they would pay extra because they was gonna make their money back, but them teams that they was paying was winning. If you're not gonna win, ain't no need for you to be in the second apron or nowhere near it, right? So, Dallas was like, dude, we can pay Luka and keep him, but are we gonna win like this? Because we definitely gonna be in that second apron, right? Right. So are we gonna and Nico and the ownership was like, nah, we don't want to be there. Is there any other way? Yes, we can trade Luka. And then we can pivot and get more assets that we can still be competitive. Like they're probably more competitive now than they were with Luka, especially if they would have kept Luka and lost some of the pieces they couldn't re-sign. They probably would have kept Kyrie, but it would have been it. Two-headed monster with a very skeleton-like crew around them as a team, as supporting cast, which is Kyrie tried that in Brooklyn with KD. Hey, let's pay 3 guys max. Let's get 3 max guys on one team, and then let's get a skeleton crew around them. It was very tough. Their third best player might have been Bruce Brown. Well, not third best, but their fourth best after James Harden. Might have been Bruce Brown. Or Joe Harris or somebody like that. That ain't getting it done. So now they're praising Nico. Oh man, you made it. You saved us money, and we got a better team. Executive of the year. Executive of the year, y'all. Executive of the year, man.